After the football games, of course.
That is.
That's my creativity hits after the football games.
Who's your football team?
Notre Dame, and
That's
I,
Saturday night.
what's that?
Saturday night.
Yeah, and then I just watch, I watch professional, just fun. I don't really have.
I don't even know how to, we got rid of our direct TV, we got Fire Stick. I don't even know how to look at real TV. We never watched real TV. My career, you do it, though.
It is 10:01, Monday, the 14th day of November, 2022. I make a motion that the regular meeting of the Navarro County Commissioners Court come to order.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All those in favor, please say aye. And we are in session. I ask everyone to please stand now for opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow with me, please. Father in heaven, we're so grateful for this day and all the many blessings that you give us each and every day. Father, pray that you will be with us today as we make decisions for the county. Help us to always do, Father, what is best. Father, pray that we will put you first in all the things that we do. Be with those in our county that are sick. Pray that they get well. Be with those in our county that have lost loved ones. Father, comfort them as only you can. Forgive us of our sins. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Lisa, Meals on Wheels.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna stand over here so I'm not my back's not
That's
towards
fine.
anybody.
Sure, that'll be fine.
Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to share with you today. On your agenda today is Texas Feeding Texans, the TDA grant. And what that allows us to do is draw down some state funding to help support feeding our seniors here in Navarro County. October 1st was the end of our fiscal year. So I do have some great numbers for you that we fed 260 seniors, unduplicated numbers, clients' meals. And the grand total of that was 51,304 meals to those seniors, whereas the prior year was 48,327. So we do have an increase of people that we are serving, but what we do know is that we are still underserving. We know the need is great, but still out there in the community trying to find those seniors who do need our services. So thank you for y'all's support. And you know, we're just out there continuing to drive the roads and deliver those meals to our seniors who are in need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
All right, that was the only one who'd signed up to speak. We'll move on to our consent agenda items. This, quick. This 5 through 14. If there's a need to talk about any of these, we can do so. Otherwise, if there is no need, I'd ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole.
And I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Grant. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll go on to our regular agenda now. Item 15 is consideration of burn ban. If you can get it to burn, folks, you'll be doing good. I don't know about your place, but it's wet at mine. No, it's nice. It's just, I think we have another chance of rain today. In fact, it may be raining out there right now. I hadn't looked in a while. But regardless, no action on that, gentlemen. The burn ban is off, by the way, so it's no action. Move on to number 16 is a presentation from Vibe Business Services for Internet Enterprise Suite.
Just sit there or?
You can be there.
Okay, I'm
I'd
gonna-
probably be more comfortable, have something to lay your stuff on anyway.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pass these out to you guys.
Okay, okay.
You good?
There's more copies than what's needed, but.
Thank you.
So I'm Jan Hazelwood with Five Broadband, which was formerly Northland Communications, which most of you probably remember Northland. But we have presented we're presenting a proposal for fiber to courthouse and then 9 or 8 county offices. It's a full managed solution. And I'm gonna turn it over to Bobby Jones, who is the regional sales director, and then we've got Roger Russell, who's our commercial sales engineer. Tiffany said we presented this to the IT department, and Tiffany said you guys might have some questions. So that is the full presentation with pricing and everything. Want to you can ask questions.
Next.
So, hey, as you said, my name's Bobby. Thanks for allowing us up here, right? As a regional sales director, I'm responsible for Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. I've been really relevant inside your communities, my understanding. Junior college and a lot of businesses in this area are taking advantage of different flavors of our services. We are a full suite provider. At this point, I feel like we have to buy in, to my understanding, from the IT department. And we're looking for permission to move forward with an infrastructure that will allow Tiffany and her team to be more fully managed and productive. And we have our sales engineer with me as well, Roger Russell. And if we do have any technical questions or design questions, we're here to answer.
Anybody got questions?
I got a couple. I'm a tech idiot, so I'm probably gonna get this
Well,
wrong.
same here, and all that my genius stuff. I do.
All right. So this is to replace what we have now.
Yes, sir. So it replaces your core network.
Okay, now, I heard, I may be saying this wrong, but like, for example, across the street over here, at Presbyterian Church,
Yes, sir.
they're having to update their entire phone system and go to fiber because what they have now is becoming obsolete and not gonna be supported anymore, is that right? And it's, I think it's AT&T.
It's possible. So a lot of what I ran into, and I can't speak for other companies, but what I ran into with a lot of carriers, Mineral Wells, a couple places in Marble Falls down here, is that AT&T is doing some kind of big upgrade. So what they're doing, and the other thing they're doing is it's more of a contract, so they're making you upgrade your phones and then sign a new contract.
Right, whatever you have now, they're not gonna support it anymore.
And that's,
And what you're referring to as well are the Plano telephone lines that continue to, that they're responsible for maintaining. With that said, though, there has been in a number of situations where they're trying to get off of that Plano analog signal, deliver it in different ways.
trying to upgrade you from a POTS line or a Plano telephone line to a hosting solution.
And did y'all hear you say a while ago that this was for 9 offices?
Yes, sir.
What nine are they?
So Tiffany may be able to speak to that as well.
It's for every office
Okay.
that's under my umbrella.
Okay.
No problems. Anybody have any technical questions?
Well, that was a technical question.
I'm not sure you could address my,
I might be able to.
oh, not my technical question. but-
We can copy and paste.
I think Roger's saying, come on, bring it on.
Well, I'm glad you guys came because the problems that we're having here is our phone systems, as well as internet issues. When we did the restoration on this building, was it 7 years ago now? Something like that. Back in 14 is when it started and finished in 16. Had everything new put in, and cable underground coming from across the street at the jail. And then also goes underground across the next street also into those offices that are over there across the street. So I've had trouble with some of the stuff in my courtroom that has just been, it has just stopped me from doing stuff.
Yes, sir.
Had last week, I guess it was, jail pleas where we do them by Zoom and not have to bring the inmates over to the courtroom per se, which is a great way to do it because it's quick and we get it done. It just takes a bailiff to go over and have them sign papers and get thumbprints and that sort of thing. But the Zoom locked up.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether it's there on their side over there or if it's on my side over here, but stuff like that we've, COVID has got us used to doing that works really great. And it was there beforehand, okay? But we just didn't use it,
Mhm.
you know, because we ain't never done that before.
Mhm.
So thank goodness that, you know, was one of the results of COVID was that we would have that ability and were forced to use it. And once we were forced to use it, we like it. It works good. So
Yes, sir.
that's one of the biggest problems that I see that we have. I had some phone issues as well,
Yes, sir.
where just quit working, you know, and you're like, well, what's going on now? And reach in and unplug the back of it, and let it reset, and plug it back in again, it works. So we know that the equipment is another issue that we're having too. So yeah, we're glad to,
Well, we don't have Wi-Fi in the basement.
yeah, we need that all over the whole building. We need it public Wi-Fi, we need closed Wi-Fi, both.
Well, the best thing you could say about it is it's Wi-Fi.
So,
I don't know how many bytes or RAM or buses it is. I don't know.
Could be some does in there too.
so from a
Some RAM dead does.
Yeah.
from a high level, part of the problem is we did some speed tests when we did the initial walkout, right? So you have a gig at your DMARC, a gigabit per second, but the end users are getting less than 50, right? And what it is, there's a lot of switches in the network that don't need to be there. The other thing is they use media converters. So basically all a media converter is a dumb device that changes signal from one type to another, right? So you get some loss there. So kind of what we're gonna do, with a lot of work with her is that we're going to, we're gonna connect everything with fiber, right? Which eliminates a lot of that loss. And then the second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a managed infrastructure, which makes it way easier for the IT department because they'll be able to see all the way down into that device you're connected to.
Cool.
Right, and that's the first step. And then we're also working on a Wi-Fi design that we give you exactly what you're asking for. So, and devices we're gonna put in on Meraki, they're the same thing you see in like Dallas Stadium. And they're capable of 500 megabit per second end user. So, the best part is that this piece right here is the base design, and everything else after that can be done modular, right? So once you have a good, you get good stable data throughout the entire network, you're not getting any loss, everything's manageable. Then when you plug the phone in, boom, it works. Right? So, but if you have any technical questions whatsoever, I'm always available.
The cable that you're gonna run, the fiber,
Yes, sir.
it'll run to this building, correct?
Yes,
Correct?
yes, sir.
From
The way we
whatever
designed
the
it.
source is,
Mhm.
not be connected across the street,
No, sir.
other
Well,
than as needed to be connected.
So we have, you got your DMARC, that's where our fiber is gonna come in at. And then you have an individual fiber connection to every one of your buildings.
Okay.
So, and that way, I mean, you're gonna have, it's the same, it's a design that's proven, right? So we try it. And the other thing is that we're not running, they use jumper fiber, it's a different quality of fiber. Usually use jumpers like headends, right? It's real thin, real small. What we're gonna use is 12 count armor drop fiber. So two benefits to that. One is that there's 6 pairs of fiber in there. So if that, one pair breaks, for example, right, it's really easy just to switch to the next pair, so you're not down. The other thing is that it's armored, so it's way harder to break.
Yep.
Right, and then we're removing the media converter, so you're going from smart device to smart device. So if there is a light problem, we can actually look at that, and in fact, you'll be able to look at that interface in one pane of glass and see what the light level is, right? So it's gonna make your IT department way more efficient because they can see everything from their iPad.
And this will be a dedicated circuits to the courthouse and the 8 county offices. So
Gotcha.
it's not going to be shared with anyone else. And one thing that we tout is that we offer a full suite of services. We can come in and provide your hosted phones, do phone replacement. And everything that we do is in-house within Vibe. We don't contract anything out. So you're gonna get a bill from Vibe for all of your services. Fiber phones, wireless network, whatever it is that you guys move forward with. But, and I live here, I work out of the First County office, also work in my hands-on. But, and Bobby doesn't live here, but he is local, he's an hour away. Rogers are out of Stephenville, but we have a sales engineer that is under him that will work out, that works under me or with me. But yeah, we don't outsource anything. Everything is done through Vibe. Now, we do have contractors that we work with, have been working with for 15 years that will come in and help us lay out the infrastructure, but nothing is contracted out as far as support. There's 24/7 support line. Something goes wrong, Tiffany can call and we'll have somebody out here from the local office ASAP. if needed.
And this is the latest, greatest of everything you're gonna install, correct?
So, yes, sir, it is. So everything is currently supported. Now, here's the other benefit of it is that, so say, for example, at the end of your contract, right? If your equipment goes end of life, in other words, they stop producing it, right, or it's no longer supported, we're gonna replace it at no cost. And we also do all the maintenance and patches, right? So like what Jan was saying is, if it's 3 o'clock on a Saturday and you have an outage, there's a number you can call and we'll let you up to fix your problem, right? If an access point goes bad, we replace it, it'll cost you. If a NID or a switch or anything else, anything that we put in, if it goes bad, we're gonna replace it, no cost to you, and usually it's extremely quick.
Okay.
So,
Like I said, I don't know, have enough technical knowledge to ask a question that way, but on pricing,
yes, sir.
I understand this is cheaper than what we're using, but my question is there anything in the contract that limits the increase in the amount that we're paying so that it won't jump up to what we're paying now or more in just a little bit of time? In other words, that is cheaper now to entice us. I mean, that's business. I mean, I'm not asking a question. I don't think.
You're locked in for the term. Yeah, there's two options, 3 years, 3 years, or 6 or 5 years. And you're locked into that term. There won't be any price increase.
So to your point, the advantage of that agreement is that there won't be any increases during that period that you decided to agree to.
But after 3 years, is there any type of limit, or 5 years, whatever we agree to the contract, is there any type of limit on how much it's gonna go up then?
No, that's a great question. There is no limit as far as what it would increase. We have a retention team that will get ahead of this before the end of the agreement. We'll start working with Tiffany or our point of contact on the cost piece of it, and we'll make it. We've been known, we've worked with ERAF County. Gibson County. So in other words, there is no limit to what it could go to after the fact, but we wouldn't be in business if we were in these communities and gouging the price after the initial term was up. So we have a retention team to allow it to be very competitive so that we can stay in business with you guys, right? We want to be here for as long as you guys are willing to let us be part
Mike,
of this.
you got a
Yeah.
question?
I got a question.
Sure.
You Vibe today, how long gonna be Vibe? You got anything in the works to sell out?
No, we
North
have
has changed quite a bit. I'm just
Yeah,
asking
no, absolutely.
that you know of.
Yeah, we're gonna be by for as long as I know. We do have some, ambitions, down the road, but there's nothing that's going on right now.
You don't have any pending sales right now, is what I'm asking.
No, sir.
Okay.
It's a good question though, right? I tell you what, we are big enough for that to end up happening. Again, we're in 16 states, right? So, that's why that's such a valid question, right? There is no pending sales or anything right now that's foreseeable within our organization for that to be different.
And this is already budgeted, just we're using someone else.
One other thing is that this is all backed by service level agreement, right? So you actually we'll give you legal documentation. If within the terms of that SLA, if we don't meet we guarantee 99% uptime, 99.9% uptime, we guarantee low latency, we guarantee jitter, all that technical stuff, right? If within the terms of that SLA, we can't give you what we promised you to use that SLA, we'll be back out of the contract.
And today it's just a presentation. It's not to
No.
agree.
That's correct.
It is not to agree to do this.
Yes, sir.
It's just a presentation.
Now, I know technology flips, so to speak, whatever, 18 months. So if we take the 5-year deal and upgrades are necessary, just like this silly thing right here, it's over a gig, nobody needed a gig ever, but yet now that every phone is, and so as things progress and the programs progress, is there going to be any charge to upgrade these to the newest and latest and greatest?
Equipment.
Well, okay.
All right, so if there's something that we need to replace because it's not compatible or it's out of date, all that's covered.
Okay.
So the only thing that would change is if you decided to, because now here's the one thing with internet, right, is that you never heard anybody ever say that the internet's too fast, right? So the better we make your infrastructure, the more people are gonna rely on it. So there would be a price increase if you decide to increase your speed, right, internet speed. The other thing on that note is that all the equipment we're putting in is gonna be 10 gig capable, right? So what that means is that if you do decide somewhere within that period to say you can increase your speeds, there's nothing that needs to be done physically. You can make a phone call and we can turn it up digitally without interrupting your services. And the other big benefit is really what this does is this design is it gives your IT department the ability to pretty much manage all of their network from 3 screens that they can open up on an iPad or a phone for that matter if they need to. So it makes it more efficient. And everything that we put in is also now on the backside. So if she runs into a problem, there are dedicated engineers that can always assist. Right? So for example, if there's a switch problem and it's something they've never experienced before, we can get them on the phone with a Meraki certified engineer, quickly to provide that support.
And the circuit that we'd be bringing into the courthouse is going to be 2 gig.
Current is almost. And we're not using half of that.
I think
Yeah, like Roger said, it's capable, or we're capable of increasing that to a 10 gig circuit.
without any physical, I mean, it's literally, they would call Jan, we could have that done within 24 hours and we wouldn't even have to. So, and
Tiffany, I'm sorry.
go ahead, sir.
I was going to ask Tiffany, now, what do we have at the jail right now? What are we using at the jail right now?
Physically
Well, yeah, or is it AT&T?
in the jail? I'm
Over
not
there in
sure,
that building across the street.
because I have stuff over there too, so I'm not
Okay.
100% sure.
Will this affect what they use is my question. If we go with five,
No, they're separate.
they're separate altogether is
They are
what I'm
separate.
asking. Okay,
Yes.
so we don't need to
They're
have
on a
them.
separate DMARC.
Okay,
Any other questions, folks?
A few items, then if we don't have any questions, I'll just reiterate some of the things that I just took notes on. You had mentioned about some connectivity, some where's everything connected, Mr. Davenport, and so each one of these buildings that have been either referenced or the quantity of them will have a dedicated fiber component that's connected to where, Roger?
Yeah, so what we're gonna,
It's a point to point, right? So you asked about, well, can a certain location get the internet? Everyone's gonna have, every one of those locations is gonna have some fiber that's connected back here. So you don't have to go over any other awkward technology. It's gonna be a direct link, right? And I think that's kind of important. At least Erath County is doing this with us. I always get to Houston County. And so this is pretty common when you have the availability to budget for that connectivity between the locations. I was hoping that would be a peace of mind, right? And we made a little bit of mention to 24/7 care, the care that you get being on this fiber, being a county office, a county seat. You get into a network operations center. So if Tiffany does have questions, she's not gonna have to deal with more of an introductory tier level of support that maybe a small business on coax would have to go through before getting some additional technical support. She'll go straight into a group that has the visibility and works directly with our network operations center. We actually have 2 of them and kind of talk about our presence here in the community. One of our network operations centers, which is what manages all of our 16 states, is here in Corsicana. So we have one in Corsicana and one in Kansas City. That gives the 20. It's a redundant availability to that 24/7 care. So those were a few things that I wanted just as a peace of mind to your court.
All right, anything else? Thank y'all.
Thank you so much for your time.
Look forward to the details. Get ready to roll. We'll move on to number 17, which is consideration of approving the holidays for 2023. And I'll send those in here somewhere.
I think we've got about twice too many holidays for 2023.
Well, you won't be here for it
That's
anyway.
right.
Yeah.
He's already
Approved
acclimated.
retiree.
He's lamed up. Okay.
I might have still got on the public forum there.
No, you got enough.
Well, can't find my copy.
You'll
of
get
it.
the whole summer off though, baby.
Let's correct it now. We were missing last time. Okay, doke. Need a motion to accept. Approve.
I make a motion that we approve the holidays for 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 18 is consideration of approving tax collection report for October 22. Michael Dowd.
Morning, y'all.
Morning, sir.
Well, numbers are in the first month of the year. We have collected $2,931,293.89 for October, which is behind last year's total, which was $4,043,132.77. So the difference is we're $1,111,838.88 behind where we were this time last year, or 5.2%. A collection of 10.12%. All right. That being said, that's not too shabby collection, since we had some issues and we didn't get statements out and didn't get collected. You know, that amounts to 10 days probably worth collecting. So I suspect and have seen that we should narrow that gap when we get next year's in, if things keep going according to the way they've gone so far.
Look it up. Discussion, questions, gentlemen? Not, I'd ask for a motion, please.
I move that we approve the tax collection report for October 2022 by Mike Dowd.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Olson. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Michael. Number 19 is consideration of changing Monday, December 26, 2022 Commissioners Court date to Thursday, December 22 of 22 due to Christmas holidays. I don't want to meet on Christmas Day or anything. Can't imagine that. I think that'll be pretty well done deal. Just need a motion, folks.
I make a motion that we approve the changing Monday, December 26, 2022 Commissioners Court date to Thursday, December 22nd, due to Christmas holiday.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
That will be your final hurrah.
Be close. Number 20 is consideration of approving the supplemental watershed plan number 9 and, well, it's an and sign, and environmental assessment for the rehabilitation of floodwater retarding structures, number 4 and number 6 of the Chambers Creek watershed. Y'all getting all this? We'll have a little test in a little bit, and just, especially you, Boo.
Well, I'm John Elrod with the Navarro Soil and Water Conservation District. And this plan refers to the Ellis County, our neighboring, the Ellis Prairie Soil and Water District. And For anybody that doesn't know, 1955, there was an agreement made along Chambers Creek, maybe Richmond Creek. Did everything, just being the county seat here, we got everything involved. So if you wonder if something's happening in Ellis County or Johnson County, it's because of previous agreement that still exists. So in order for them to move forward with a watershed protection plan or waterway, and this is particularly to upgrade a couple of structures, they need the Bear County Commissioners Court. Wow.
Yep, approved.
And I assume y'all all were, I know the county auditor's office, because they called me on, did I know about this, because it was not in our county. So y'all are over the, all kinds of counties when it comes to Chambers Creek watershed protection.
What structures is it?
It is a Chambers Creek, number 4, number 6. They are within the Ellis County and they are in the city limits of.
Okay.
Okay, no further questions, I'd ask for a motion, please.
I'll make a motion of approving the supplemental watershed plan number 9 and environmental assessment for the rehabilitation of floodwater retarding structures 4 and 6 of the Chambers Creek watershed.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Grant. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
And it's actually those 2 books out there. There's in front of Commissioner Eddie Perry.
Oh, okay.
And all we need, there's a signature. Can't remember which commissioner it is. I just need one signature and then just dated. And then there's 2 original copies and then there's some extra sheets in that kind of blue-green folder. If there's any, you can kind of look through, if there's any other questions about it.
You need us to sign that before you leave?
Yes, sir.
Because you might want to do that. So you want to send it the whole time.
Do it right now.
And currently in Navarro County, we have a structure going under rehab, but it's actually upgrade southeast of Rice. It hasn't been bid yet. There's about a $7 million project going on southeast of Rice. So, but it's nothing that, there's no federal dollars, so we don't have y'all to need to sign off on this. Actually, the judge has already signed off on the asking for the money.
Where's it at?
Southeast of Rice.
Is there a road involved or,
So there's a lot of little roads there.
I mean, is it a bridge or a, where is that exactly? Like, is it close to Timothy or?
It's just north of the Chatfield Road, which is why TCEQ deemed this site to be upgraded to high hazard. And this is since 2010, we just finally got the money through the state, not the federal government, to go on with this project.
Does it say which commissioner needs to sign on there?
And I know that's in your area. Commissioner Grant.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I was just curious where exactly it was.
So far, all I'm finding is the county
Judge
judge.
is all I'm saying.
Okay.
Almost need a map to show. This listed as an upgrade and not a rehab, even though it will be a rehabilitation. The dam will be removed. Primary schoolway is going to be moved to the middle, and it'll have a concrete emergency schoolway in the middle. Kind of in a weird type of thing. We're looking at $7 million. Judge, you probably can remember when we needed you to sign off for the application. It's been so many, it takes so long for these things to get funded. That, we got a meeting at the office tomorrow with Chenal Engineering. They're out of Atlanta, Georgia, which is the actual one that did the drawing approved by the State Soil and Water Board of Texas. You know, we hired them to be our contracting agency. So we're about to have a major rehab of our own watersheds.
Appreciate the
Cool.
information.
Yep, sure do. All right, well, thank you.
We appreciate your permission, Judge.
Y'all need to leave? Go.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else that needs to leave, you're welcome to leave. Speak fine.
one that's not.
But, yeah.
Hey, Judge Davenport,
Yes, sir.
if I can make one more remark to
Yes,
the
sir.
live stuff,
Yes,
it's
sir.
about 90 days worth of construction time
Okay,
after the agreement is executed
okay, okay.
for installment deployment.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll move on to number 21, which is consideration of approving an interlocal agreement between Ellis County and Navarro County for the purchase of goods and services pursuant to subchapter F, chapter 271 of the Texas Government Code.
This is in regards to our gravel beds that we sent out our material. They would like to piggyback off of us and utilize our bids, but before they can do that, they have to go through and do an interlocal agreement with us in regards to using our bids. Because some of the vendors that they have that bid for them did not have the supply and demand like what ours is saying, and those vendors did not bid for them, they bid on ours. So in other words, for example, Arnold Crush Job Matterborn, okay? We send out bids to them every year. They bid for us. Well, they don't send bids out to Arnold, but they need that type of material because their vendor does not have that type of material. So that's the closest one for them. So they wanted to use our bid specs, use our bid response and tabulations that Arnold sent to us so that they can utilize their pricing and so forth and so on.
So they can buy the same stuff that we
They
buy.
can buy the same stuff that we buy and utilize it, and they can do that, but they have to do an interlocal agreement with that county, and it has to go through their purchasing department that way.
And I'm assuming that the supply from, say, Arnold will be enough to supply both of us.
Yes, I'm just using Arnold as an
I'm
example.
using that as an
Okay,
example
yes,
too,
yes, it should be.
whether it's
And
Arnold or
if it's
whoever.
not gonna be Arnold, then they'll go to the next one that we have on our bid tabulations and go that route until their supplier can get back up. Does that make
Does
sense?
this work vice versa?
It will if we sign an interlocal agreement with them in regards to using their bids.
If they're not using our haulers, are they?
No, no, that's a separate bid altogether.
Okay, doke. Any other questions or discussions, gentlemen, on this? I'd ask for a motion, please.
I move that we approve an interlocal agreement between Ellis County and Navarro County for the purchase of goods and services pursuant to subchapter F, chapter 271 of the Texas Government Code.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Grant. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 22 is consideration of a final plat of Wolf Creek, or no, Wolf Ranch, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying Wolf Creek. I had that in my mind or something. Section 4 for Roy Veldman. Stanley?
Yeah, and Mr. Bellman has presented the application. He's actually, it's gonna be section 4 of original subdivision of the Wolf Ranch. He's proposing 140.42 acres, which he's gonna turn it into 42 lots. All of them are gonna be above the 1 acre net for septic system purposes. He does meet all the state local regulations for subdivisions, and he's asking for permission for approval. Section 4. Do have letters from the utility company showing you can't provide water and electricity.
Same thing on putting money aside for the roads. Over to that point yet.
Well, I mean, are you asking for a road bond? Or?
No, I'm saying if once he starts putting these, selling these, he's gonna have money set aside from each residence to maintain.
Yes, that should be.
It's in the deed restriction.
I want to make sure it's already in here, okay? I know that, ever since we tightened up on all that stuff a few years ago, he sends me, updates constantly as he's doing the road. He's building all of the roads that he's put in, all these newer ones he's done to county specs with, contractors, and they're nothing like the stuff they used to throw up. I mean, they're
Yeah.
nice, very nice. So that was a good move on our part. tighten up on that stuff.
He is setting an example for the rest of the developers.
Okay, any other discussion on this? I'll ask for a motion then.
I'll
Please.
make a motion that we approve the final plat of Wolf Creek, section 4 for Roy Goldman.
Second.
We'll give it to lame duck over here. Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Olson. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 23 is consideration of approving a zoning district change from agriculture to planned development for Nick Smith.
Yes, sir. And I'd ask the commissioners to table that one. The Beasley Commission also tabled it for lack of information. They need more information for
Gotcha.
you to consider.
We need to vote to table that, you think, or just do it?
I'll make a motion to table.
Thank
Item
you.
Number 23.
Motion to table made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you,
Motion
Jim.
carries.
24
Thank you,
too.
Stan.
That's the same road, isn't it? Northwest 1260 is for the water.
I'm not sure. I'm not aware of that one.
Okay. Well,
Just approving to cross anyway.
well, I know, but we don't know what that is. Where did we know what this 23 are?
It's in yours, so you can table it.
Yeah, I say we table that.
Okay.
Can we find out some more information on
Make
that?
the motion to table,
I'll
please.
make a motion that we table number 24.
Second.
Motion to table made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Olson. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 25, consideration of approving a 2001, I think it's just like new, Mack truck as salvage for precinct 2.
Better than that.
Mine are.
Judge, we just drove this truck on Sundays when we were carrying little ladies to church, but since then, the transmission and the rear ends went out in it, so I don't see the money to put it back in. I'd like to make a motion of approving the 2001 Mack truck as salvage. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All those in favor, please say aye.
Can I have permission to white out this numbers that are on here, because there's such, they can make a copy, I'm afraid of this, so I'm gonna, on my copy that I put out there for the public, I'm gonna white out this identification, and all the numbers on there.
I think that'd be fine. Yeah.
You'll take them in personal truck now?
I think so.
That was my next question, is how you gonna haul them to church?
Well, we've got an 85 dump truck. I was kind of thinking about using it.
Does it run?
Oh, it's good.
All right. We'll move on to 26, which is consideration of approving community water company to cross Southwest County Road 1150 and in precinct 4.
Yeah, in precinct 4, I'm not
Should
sure
just
where
be-
it's coming from or what it's going to, but it's gonna be a 6-foot bore, so that's fine.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion, we approve community water to cross Southwest 1150 in precinct 4.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion
Is
carries.
community water new? I don't ever remember.
No, they've been around.
That's the Lane Struby.
That's Struby.
They've got retreat.
I don't remember ever having them. in my-
They don't have a pump station, but they've got retreat.
Yeah, I don't,
That's why you can't find it out. Water.
That wasn't the water company I had.
They rely on city of course kind of pressure.
All right, number 27 is consideration of approving modification 1 to grant number G22NT0001A to be increased to $3,010,588 for Texoma Highway.
This is actually an increase for only $4,500. It's increasing grant number for fiscal year, not for fiscal year, excuse me, for calendar year 22 for HIDA, Texoma HIDA.
All right, we just need a motion on that, gentlemen.
I'll make a motion of approving modification 1 to grant G 22 EMT 0001A to be increased to $3,010,580 for Texoma Highway. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 28 is consideration of approving a letter of commencement for Texoma HIDA Task Force at 6303 Commerce Drive, Irving, Texas, 7563. And it's missing another number, whatever it may be. So,
It's 75063.
3, thank you.
75063.
06.
This is where they moved into their new place. Okay. And
They're
I'm sure
waiting on
y'all,
us, they're waiting on us to tell them they can start doing whatever they're doing.
This is just for their finger.
Okay.
Okay,
okay,
thank you.
and I'm sure y'all have in this front part of the letter, it says we have attached
Yes,
the
I have all that
invoice
on my desk.
for this work. We don't have it, but I'm
Yeah,
assuming y'all do.
we do. This right here is pretty much the invoice. So this is what this base rent is pretty much what this letter is referring to. The
Okay,
30, what, for October, it's 6,000, and then in November, it's gonna start 34,000, 35,000.
that's the lease payment.
Yes.
But this isn't in the letter here. It questioned
They,
whether they should have to pay for some work that had to be
I had
done.
those, and they were, gonna speak to the landlord about some of.
Okay.
few
So
discrepancies.
we're not approving or disapproving that, are we?
No.
Okay.
And you're not really even approving this, it's just letting them know that it's okay for them to move in, and we are gonna pay what they requested.
The lease payment,
Yes.
not the.
Right, not.
Okay.
Not the work.
I'll make a motion that we approve the letter of commencement for Texoma HIDA Task Force at 6303 Commerce Drive, Irving, Texas, 75063.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Grant. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move to number 29, which is consideration of approving Navarro County Accident Prevention Plan as recommended by the TAC, Texas Association of Counties Risk Control Consultant.
Yes, our TAC risk consultant, Isaac Garcia, has recommended that we implement an accident prevention plan for the county, and the objective of that plan is just to state that to prevent accidents, reduce workplace injuries, just ensure the overall safety of employees and the public.
Now whoever would be responsible for doing these things, inspections and so forth. Now, will this information get to them?
Mhm.
Okay, I guess that'd be our maintenance.
Yeah, that's
People.
what's on the packets that I gave y'all. It outlines all of the whole plan.
Yeah, I've got the plan, but what I'm asking, the person that's gonna be responsible for doing some of these inspections, that person gonna know that
Yes,
we've got this.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is just the signature sheet that.
Oh, okay. There's no further questions on this, gentlemen. I'd ask for motions to approve.
We approve the Navarro County Accident Prevention Plan as recommended by the TAC Risk Control Consultant.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 30 is consideration of approving to pay bills for Precinct 1 Road and Bridge without purchase orders on November 14th of 2022.
This is mine. We had to do some work on the John Deere. I'll make a motion that we approve to pay bills for Precinct 1 Road and Bridge without purchase orders on November 14th, 2022.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 31 is consideration of approving to pay bills for the jail without purchase orders on November 14th of 2022.
I make a motion that we approve the pay bills for jail without purchase order on November 14th, 2022.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 32 is executive session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, section 551.074, to discuss personnel. I'd ask for a motion to go into that session, please.
It is 10:50. I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss personnel.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we are in that session. Thank y'all for coming.
Sir. Judge,
Yes, sir.
get a couple of questions. The Vive presentation. Any idea when the court could act on that in the future? Is there any projected time the court could make a decision
I
on?
think we're gonna be moving pretty quick, for probably next meeting, maybe, I'm guessing. Contracts have to be viewed by
Right.
Our attorneys and so on, just to make sure they're correct. But, I'm thinking we're gonna go that pretty fast.
Okay,
We're already got it in our budget to do it.
and that's the time when the terms will be disclosed and everything after legal's taken care of it. And I had another question somewhere. The lady that spoke about Meals on Wheels, who was she with?
Meals on Wheels, but I don't know which office she was out of. I don't know if
Okay.
Waco office or Kaufman or where, I don't know for sure.
Okay. I'll check the recorder, but I like to get some of that done in writing just so that I can plug it in.
Yeah.
But thank you very much.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
I just have a question. This is just a question request, and then, no, if it's too much trouble for you, you're welcome to tell me that. Oh, he's right here. And so I have to retake some down. They'll go through now if we do the big thing, but like I scan this for Commissioner Court, it won't go, so I have to go and. This is just this size paper.
I can, either that or I can send you a PDF on that and you can clear a copy.
Because it's actually been on my plan, so all I need is just a small, letter size format. That'd be great. If I get right down to it, forget every time I have to stop and go do that. So I'm gonna take this, this is mine today. Do you need me in here for personnel? I'm gonna be sitting out here if you need me. Okay.
Yes, sir.